What's up, guys? This is Cromar with TGN, bringing you some more League of Legends action. I'm joined today by Pureshield. Say hello, Pureshield.
Hello, Pureshield.
Hello. Yeah. So we actually have a really exciting game to cast. Or at
match!
Grudge match.
Grudge match.
Former members of High Rising facing off against each other.
Round
two
two,
new teams,
motherfuckers.
Solution Gaming and Magnius. Yeah, definitely a grudge match. Solution Gaming and Magnius here. Solution Gaming, SOL Nevin, who is he playing here? There he is, Nunu with the really cool skin. Nunu Nevin is actually Boobies. You remember his Boobies or HR Boobies? You remember from the TGN tournament? Excuse me. And other matches that we've casted involving High Rising. I think he's also appeared in some of our other videos. I think he's even in TGN Squadron. So he's definitely a friend of TGN. And he keeps telling me that this is a really good game. I don't know who won. I haven't had it spoiled. I hope you haven't either.
Nope.
So I'm really excited to
it's
actually.
It's a really
see this
long
game.
one too, technically, right? There's a spoiler alert right there.
Well, that's what they say, but I don't know because in the post editing I have the timer covered up, so no one will know. It could be a 20-minute surrender for all I know. No, but seriously, I mean, it looks like they're going to go for they're going for a counter gank on or counter jungle on red, but they're not really committing to it. With Nunu going back, that could be in serious trouble.
Look at
Nunu
Fog
and
right now.
Tourist have gone back. It's kind of a half-assed counter jungle.
Blue does not see purple right now at all.
Yeah.
If you look at Fog. So, but purple sees blue because they saw the ward. They know they're going to start wave. Watch this. Oh my goodness.
There's a 5-on-3.
Oh.
Massive damage down on Shyvana. She's
is
going to run for it,
down.
and there it goes. Nocturne takes down Shyvana for the first blood, and Zero also falls in the melee. Chaos going down. We're actually Aurelia is trying to pick up Ziggs to get something out of this, but that's going to cost her. She's going to be forced to flash over the wall, and Ziggs is going to escape narrowly. He's better go heal because he's basically almost dead. Yeah. And he has a free reign in his lane, of course, because it's Zero going down. So yeah, that was huge. You were spot on about the site and the positioning, and this ward here at red, that let him know when it was time to go in, basically. Yeah, and having Nunu and Tristana go back early was a big mistake. I don't really know what they were doing there. I mean, they really didn't commit to that counter jungle, and they paid for it. Wow. Okay. So we didn't get a chance to talk about the champions. We're still busy talking about the teams here. We actually have bot lane Corki and Leona on Magnius going up against Tristana Nunu bot. Nunu is really powerful, underappreciated support. I think he's becoming more appreciated lately, and I think we're going to see him a lot more. I mean, I don't know about what do you think, Pureshield? Have you been seeing Nunu at the high levels a lot recently?
Well, with the consume changes that happened to Nunu and how the visionary works, he's actually a bit better as a jungler right now. I personally feel like he's really good at counter jungling. They're designing him to jungle, but he's still not a shabby support. Consume increases his sustain, and now because he can actually, he's kind of like a combination between Taric right now, and any harass champion really. Taric, when you land a stun, you essentially get almost like free kill. A lot of people say, because nowadays he's the only support that hasn't been nerfed to the ground after he's been buffed. So after the changes to his R, I mean, some people even say that's a nerf in some sort, but I think that was a really big buff for Taric. I used to play Taric a lot. So he essentially, if you look at how Nunu is being played as support right now, if you get a few auto attacks in terms of harass and stockpile your visionary, you can get some free snowballs going and keep your mana cost really like a lot more efficient. So before it was 7 attacks, now being 5 attacks, making him a lot stronger and a lot more sustainable in the lane. Although I do want to draw your attention though to this bot lane combination in terms of Leona and Corki. This is actually, I think this is one of my personal favorite combos for Leona, simply because of the fact that Leona is meant to protect a AD. However, Corki can also protect himself. So essentially, my objective as a Leona player, I don't actually have to focus on protecting him solely because he can Valkyrie out. I can actually focus on disrupting the enemy team. So for example, use my stun offensively, use my Zenith Blade offensively, and of course, when that level 6 hits, use my Solar Flare offensively. Again, this bottom lane setup, key thing to watch for, because look, it's Natty Bro Brojo versus HR Boot, and a lot of drama did revolve around those two.
Grudge match.
Oh yeah, full grudge match. This is like wrestling at its finest, except this is League of Legends. So maybe we can do this like wrestling commentating. Are you ready to rumble? There's no one playing Rumble, so that would have not been a pun at all.
No, we don't have Rumble here.
No
sorry.
puns, no puns at all. No.
No, not at all. So Corki and Leona, like you said, Leona is a kill lane champion, really, really effective, and just the disruption. The longer she stays in the fight, the more obnoxious she is, because it seems like she never runs out of stuns, honestly. She's like Nautilus. That's the bot lane. Then mid, Zira and Ziggs. You know, Zira's new. A lot of people feel she's overpowered. I don't know how I feel about that. The reason that people say she's overpowered is because she's basically a long-range siege like Xerath, but has a lot more flexibility in her burst, and of course her root is really strong.
Yeah, it's like a Lux root essentially.
Yeah, it is. It's like a Lux root, but it's easier to aim. And on top of that, it hatches those obnoxious little vinelings. Actually, there's some nice bursts there.
Right there. Oh my goodness. Oh, I think Chaos in my action. Oh, he almost goes down.
Almost.
Yeah.
You know, that was the first blood advantage. You know, Zira died at the start of the game, and Ziggs picked up some nice assist gold. And he's really putting that to good use because he's only slightly ahead of her on gold. I mean, let me look at their actual gold score. I'm looking at CS right now. In terms of gold, he's up
about 150, something along
yeah,
those lines.
pretty good amount. Pretty good amount of gold, and he's also ahead of her a little bit on experience. So this is pretty serious. I mean, she just hit 5, so she's caught up now, but that's a pretty huge advantage in mid lane right at the start, and that's one of the reasons why that went that way. I think Zira, if it had been a little more even, would have had a chance of actually putting something there on Ziggs. And don't forget that Zira also, I believe Zira wasted her summoners right at the start.
Here comes a little gank up top from Nocturne.
She blew that ignite. Yeah, I saw the little gank there. Yeah, didn't get very far. Irelia is so difficult to gank because of her stupid anti-CC. It's so obnoxious to play against. But anyway, yeah, another gank up there. She flashes out. Forced to burn a flash though. That's still pretty good start. So 2 tries. They managed to get somewhere on there.
Jungler's role, force flash. That's it. That should be like the jungler description. You force a flash, you can kind of AFK afterwards.
Then you're done.
Yeah, you're AFK.
Yeah, you can AFK at that point. That's right.
Yeah.
That's how Pureshield plays anyway.
That's how I play.
He AFKs after his first gank. So that's why you got banned.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. No, he hasn't got banned yet. I did report him a few times, but no, the ban hasn't come through yet. Anyway, what do you got to do to get banned if Pureshield hasn't been banned yet? That's what I want to know, honestly. So Ping's coming down. Nocturne wants to gank mid. We have Zira. Zira's actually fully stocked up now. She may actually turn something around here on Ziggs with her ult available. This could be really nasty. See what directed camera wants me to look up top, but I want to look at mid. Yeah, look at Ziggs having to be really careful right there. He knows exactly how bad this burst is coming from Zira, so he'll be really careful. I mean, it's really long range too, which is funny because both of those champions are very long ranged champions, very long range AP mids. So it's almost like a siege battle, or sitting back and just throwing rocks at each other from across a bridge.
That's the best type of warfare, really.
The slings and arrows. So. In terms of the total advantages of the team, I mean, obviously there's a clear gold advantage coming ahead for Magnius. I mean, that's because of the first blood, the early exchange up top, which went very well for them, obviously. So other than that, though, I mean, they haven't really grown their lead at all. So other than that, one maneuver, it's still about dead even. So I mean, Tristana does have a lead on farm, which is pretty significant. Although those 2 assists about make up for it. I mean, if I look at the gold for both players, they're actually dead even. I mean, they're about 7 apart. So we have a big attempt here bottom. Here comes the Ziggs ult. Oh my goodness, Nunu's probably gonna die there. Actually, getting Leona finishing him off with the shield there. But she's forced to push back. She's not about to dive it. It's way too early to dive, and they don't have an Alistar there. So it's level 6 dives. You need your Alistar if you're gonna pull that off. No, that was still not bad. That was a nice little assist from Ziggs. I'm pretty sure that kill wouldn't have happened without that assist from Ziggs, without the ult coming in. So that's how you do it. Speaking of that ultra long range. But yeah, let's talk about that. I mean, take a look at that. We got Ziggs and Nocturne. Not quite global, awareness, global presence, but pretty long, long distance.
Oh yeah, very long distance.
Very long distance. So I mean, that can really turn things around. Nocturne jumps in, everyone's blind. The bomb comes out of nowhere. That's a good combination. So anyway, we have Nocturne ults and jumps on Zira, and there it goes. Yeah. There she goes. That was pretty much an instant death. Yeah, once he landed the fear on there, that was pretty much instant death. The ult was not enough to protect her. We actually have Kale making an attempt on Irelia. Flashes forward, and she goes down under the tower. Oh, and the ultimate survives with the ultimate. Nice move from Count Cutyield, another good friend of TGN.
I think that all of the original High Rising were very enthusiastic about TGN, and they're good old friends. but the little drama that ensued just separated them apart. But now, though, both teams have improved significantly. I mean, all the ratings, solo queue and the range team otherwise, they're all above 1500 now too. So
yeah, they're
from a 1300 team all the way up to everyone's 1500, and some even approaching like the platinum levels. These guys are improving at a significant level, and you can just tell by the gameplay too. Those of all these younger players though, they love to razzle dazzle with the sight. So like they know they pay attention to vision all the time, and they predict enemy vision. And that's one thing that you notice about these guys is that they're really keen on warding. They love warding. I mean, if you look at vision right now, though, they know bot lane is a point of interest. And
looks like Corki and Tristan are about to face off. Corki doesn't want any of that, though. He's a little low on health, but Leona's going for the pursuit. This could dive in. Oh, there's the ult from Leona. Corki jumps in. Ziggs ult as well. Very nice combination. There comes the burst from Corki. Oh, big ult from Nunu to force Corki to retreat. Corki staying in with almost no health. Look at all these people escaping with next to nothing. That was such a close call. Both carries just barely escaping with their lives. Nunu also extremely low, although Leona did pretty well. Leona didn't take quite nearly as much damage. I think Leona was actually taking those tower hits for Corki.
Look at that one minion that followed Florio 131 all the way to Dragon. You know, a free ward.
I missed that. Giving him that free vision, you know.
Yeah. Even though they did have vision of Dragon, that minion was persistent and really helped his team out. So MVP definitely goes to minion number 36.
Yeah.
He was a nice little shield minion. He lived a very short life. But relatively long compared to his compatriots, but still,
That's true. He also accomplished way more than the average minion.
Yeah,
definitely. The average minion accomplishes absolutely nothing.
Yeah, they charge in the line, they get last hit, they get gold. Yeah, they feed
Minions
the
are
other team.
very unskilled, very unskilled.
Yeah,
but that one minion, he had good awareness. And
good awareness. Minion 36 again, a shield minion, perished in the field of battle. Revealing vision for his friendly team, and
for no reason because they had it warded anyway. Right, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Good work.
Yeah.
So anyway, up top, Nocturne wants to make a play for Aurelia, but she sees him and she's just going to take off. I mean, there's almost no way he can do anything meaningful here. He lands his initiate, but no, she's that's not going to go anywhere. So anyway, about that dragon, they got the dragon for Magnius, so they are ahead now about 2K. And in addition to that, they've also picked up those couple of kills that we saw earlier. Ziggs actually going for an ult, attempted blue steal, but it's a little bit too late. I was trying to figure out what the hell that was, and yeah, it was attempted blue steal, a little bit too late. Zero did pick up the blue. Pretty smart move though. I mean, we saw that video of Hengist picking up a blue blindly the same way, but with Ezreal. So it does work. It does work sometimes. You gotta have that gamer sense. You know what I mean? But Ziggs has decided to come back bot for a gank instead. Tristana and Nunu quite low. Oh, Nunu just barely flashes out of the blade from Leona. Very close, though. They're very good close.
Call on that flash, though. If he didn't flash, he would have died.
Yeah, for sure. So with Ziggs and Zero Blue, they both want to mess around over here. Although Ziggs' burst has actually been very effective against Zero, forcing her to pull back. Corki very low as well. They just actually took out a ward. Was that because they had vision? No, that wasn't because they had vision. I think that ward got taken out because it was planted, and they got it before it went stealth. That's actually really fun when you pull it off.
Oh, yeah.
So another encounter goes without any deaths, very narrowly escaping with no health. And Shyvana's taking mid for the time being. It looks like Ziggs is getting a little aggressive there. Takes a tower hit pretty much for no reason. But that's okay. That's what you want to do.
He's
going to
just
harass a little bit more.
Tank Ziggs.
Yeah, tank Ziggs. Down bottom, Leona's going to fight, trying to bait him in the tower. They're not going to take the bait. Tristan's very low. Corki could push this in if he wants to. We also have a gank mid simultaneously. Shyvana pushing down on Ziggs and Zira missing the kill on Ziggs. And Tristana and Nunu escaping narrowly bottom. Corki and Leona still unable to get those kills on those two. Oh, man. That could have gone very badly for Corki, as a matter of fact. I mean, he was really close there, but Leona turned it around, so it was really, really close. And then, of course, mid. So many things happening at once. Ziggs having to go back with almost no health. And let's see where we're at now. Still a lead, obviously, a 2.5k lead for Magnius. And looks in terms of the farm. I mean, farm looks pretty even, don't you think? I mean, I don't see any major advantages here, just a little bit here and there.
Tristana's ahead by 1 kill worth of farm, but Corki has 3 assists to compensate.
But Corki has 3 assists, exactly. Yeah.
Ziggs is way ahead of the Zera. So if you look at mid right now, 84 versus 73, plus Ziggs has 3 assists.
Plus the assist, yeah. That's a very good point. So this Ziggs could be really, really effective. Zera is a new champion, not known that well. So it's the champion that takes She's not. I guess she's not that high of a skill cap champion.
Okay.
But
she's not like the most difficult champion I've ever played.
She's not like Ari or something. No. But
I've actually got Zera on my Smurf, and I play on my Smurf occasionally, and that's all I play is Zera because I feel like she has the potential, and she's kind of my style in terms of mage. But the thing I find hard about her is really just the timing of knowing when you want to do plans. I mean, some people get overzealous and pretty much burst everything at once. But you want to pop your entire like rotation. For example, drop 2 plants, sprout both of them, and then overgrowth. You want to do that in the right position in the team fight. Yeah. Because you don't want to just do that just to wipe one person out, and then everyone positions around it, and then you're kind of ineffective. Whereas if you position the plants in the correct order, you can actually get them to do that maximum attack speed and full power plants. Speaking of which, though, speaking of plants, though, no plants needed to catch the vision here, and you see that the wards, both of them are keen on warding these tries, and a lot of people do forget to ward the enemy try. I mean, when on one side they're like, oh, maybe we don't need to ward enemy try or ward the try behind us. It's always good to ward try bush. Try bush. Most junglers are smart enough to avoid wards now. They'll hide in the try bush, they'll force a bait, and then they'll force you into an engagement, and then the jungler comes out of nowhere, and you're under the premise that the jungler is nowhere near you, he's just clearing, so I can fight this and probably knock him out. But in reality, he was hiding in try bush all along, and you had no vision. So
that's why you gotta ward it, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I would agree with you. I think Solution probably has the better vision at the moment. Compared to Magnius. Magnius has a couple of key areas in the river, and of course they have the dragon control, but dragon's dead anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Anyway, there's a huge push in and a Nunu ult to try to get something done, but it really just kind of sealed his own fate. Unfortunately, that's going to be another death for Solution. Magnius pulling ahead quite a bit. That was pretty huge. I'm not really sure about the timing on that ultimate. I think there was something, I think he could have done more. I believe his flash is not quite available, actually. His flash is just barely off cooldown. It's hard to tell. I am running Fraps, and there is an issue with Fraps and the replayer, so sometimes the cooldowns are not aligned properly. But I do believe that flash was almost up, but not quite up. So there wasn't a lot of options for him, and maybe he thought with the ultimate he could maybe take somebody down with him, especially with Tristana's damage. But unfortunately, it was interrupted early by Leona, so that's one of the big problems with Nunu is that your ultimate makes you so vulnerable, and there's almost nothing you can do to prevent somebody from interrupting it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Can you use Zhonya's with that? I've never seen that before. I don't know.
Oh yeah, and then use the ultimate and Zhonya's? No, you can't. But
no, you can't. It would interrupt it. Yeah.
The advantage that you do give for new players to play a little bit of trickery is you can actually ultimate in the bush. And
in the bush, where you're invisible. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. I have seen people do that, pull that off. There was a time period when people thought it was a bug, and then it was fixed, and then Riot said, oh, no, we didn't mean to fix that. We want to leave that in.
Yeah.
So that confirms it is definitely not a bug. That's the way they want it, which is cool because it just, adds an extra little dimension to the champion.
Oh, yeah.
It's the kind of thing, if it becomes overpowered, they can nerf him some other way. I want to keep that. It's neat.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, Kale gets spotted by a couple plants. That's actually kind of a waste of those plants because that duration on that reveal is really short. It's nothing like, a Nidalee trap or something. It's a really, really short duration. They really want this dragon. They're pulling him out. They actually pulled him out too far. So he's actually going to go back and heal. But no, they've re-aggroed him. Here comes a push from Solution. A little bit earlier than I expected. 3 of them get caught in the ult. Massive damage coming down from Ziggs. The Solution gets basically melted, although they're able to take out Leona as she dove in. Aurelia goes down in all the chaos, but managed to turn around on Nocturne. I think Nocturne picked her off with the Ignite tick is what did it. Now, this has actually turned into a really chaotic fight. Look at Solution turning this around. Solution actually, huge move from Tristana. Zero picks up the kill, but Tristana did the real damage. Jumping in for Corki, doesn't get him, but is he going to die? No, he's not. He's going to survive. That was a bloody battle, man.
Yeah,
that was a bloody battle. It looks like it was, oh, man. So close, and then Ziggs just did the scoop up on
wow,
Zero.
he nails it. He nails it.
Oh my goodness. The passive kill from Zira. Oh, I always forget about that thing. That's so funny. I saw a pretty slick video. I think it was on the top 5 fails or something like that, where Zira picked up like 4 kills with the freaking.
Oh my god.
Because they all stood in a line. It was so funny. Yeah, there we go. So nice move from Zira. Not that she should have even been there. I mean, once she survived the initial battle, she shouldn't have come back for Ziggs, but that's okay. The advantage of that fight still went to Magnius barely. Or no, actually the advantage went to Dragon because he's still alive. Imagine your Dragon just hiding out in your little layer there, and everybody murders themselves around you, and you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna chill here.
Yeah, I just want to chill, relax.
I'm just gonna sit here.
They really want that dragon,
and now Nocturne's coming to kill me. So that's too bad. Yeah. So Nocturne could pick this up, but there's actually a lot of Solution players moving in. Jesus. Here they come. Are they going to engage this? This is so close. Nunu is going to rush in and chase them off. Yeah, they're going to have to scatter. There's just not enough Magnius. Kale and our.
No, I think they'll be fine. They'll be fine. They can fight. This is going to be another fight right here. Another bloody
This is true.
fight.
They do have that long range of Ziggs. Yeah. That's true. And now Ziggs is actually here, so that will help them a lot. Zira, oh man, what is Zira doing? She's in a bad position if she stays there. They could come around here and grab her really, really easily. But so she's very vulnerable. I think Leona might just jump over this wall. Now that she's spotted him with the ward. Spotted him with the ward. The ward just went stealth on him, so they can't destroy it now unless they see it somehow. Pink warded, actually. They pink warded the one in front of Dragon, so that was good. Yeah, it looks like a solution being chased off. There was a big opportunity there to get a pick on Zira, but it was missed out on. That's okay. Look at Ziggs' poke damage, by the way. Jesus,
oh, yeah.
I mean,
that's not a poke. That's like he's chucking rocks at you, right? He's not coming up to you.
Yeah, that's not a poke, exactly.
He's just throwing rocks at you.
That's a chuck. That's a spear chuck. Yeah, so there we go again. They're just not giving up on this dragon. They want this dragon so badly. I think Solution was distracting them by going like they're going to push this tower and trying to get them to push to defend it, which is exactly what's happening. Do they want to fight into this tower, though, or do they want to try to muscle the tower down before? It's hard to say. It's still a 5-on-5, though. Both teams staying together. There's a ping coming down from Solution. They want to come over here to fight on this ramp.
Wow, look at those double warning.
Look at the poke from over this. They got Ziggs and Corki poking from over this ledge. Pretty huge. They're forming up around Dragon again. Ziggs gets picked up by the seed proc from stepping on it. It gives you the short reveal. Although they have a ward there anyway, so it didn't matter. Over on the right, looks like Tristana did pick up the turret. There's the initiate from Nocturne trying to take out Tristana. She jumps out of the way. They're going to focus on him. Nunu ults immediately. Stop. Ziggs ult goes down. There's the Zero ult. Doesn't pick up Nocturne. He escapes thanks to Kale's ultimate. Now there's goes the first death. The Shyvana goes down to Corki. Shyvana the initiator. Aurelia flashes out. Also dies the ignite. There's 2 down so far. Looks like Zira's in a bad position. She does die, but she takes Leona down with her. Corki with another kill, by the way, and they're going to have to push back. That's a total win for Magnius. Tristana and Nunu, rather, have been pushed back. Tristana's like, screw it, I'm taking golems. And the 3 victors from Magnius pushing that advantage are going to grab this dragon without much issue at all. I mean, they only lost 1. They only lost Leona. So they get a dragon and they got 3 kills. So this is a huge advantage for Magnius at this point.
Oh, yeah.
They're up 4K.
4K, yeah.
They're up 4K.
That's huge.
That was such a chaotic battle, Pureshield. I could barely follow that one. But I did like that move from Tristana early on, saving herself with the Buster shot. And that enabled her to survive at the end. And they're like, okay, Nunu, screw it. We're going to go get some golems. Consolation prize. But that was a surprisingly good initiate from Nocturne. Nocturne going in so early I thought was really bad. I didn't think that he was going to do anything there. But the Kale ultimate saved him, actually. And they focused so much damage on Nocturne but couldn't finish him off. So that was actually pretty effective.
I think that the Nunu ultimates, because he's a support, I think you should focus a little less on just getting the right ultimate positioning and actually more on disrupting the backlines. Like almost like half sacrificial. As he sits there and channels the ultimate, right? He's kind of he's not really positioning himself to be there. Oh my goodness! Look at that Zera's health.
So close. Kale managed to barely escape with the ultimate. Leona actually completely whiffs her ultimate. That was interesting. But so Magnius is going to push back in massive burst damage on Nunu. Just completely exploded. What happened to him? And Shyvana in a real bad position. She was over pursuing Kale and paid for it. And then they're going to whittle them down now with poke. Zira and oh my goodness, Zira!
What?
Zira coming back with the triple, the quadra. Picked up Kale with the passive. No, it was just a triple. It wasn't a quadra. Excuse me. I thought for a second they had picked up a quadra, though, but on my screen it was only set a triple.
That is the turnaround jumper they needed.
To see if that was correct or not.
That is the turnaround jumper they needed. Look at this goal count right now.
Huge. I can't believe Zira stayed in with no health and managed to pull that off with that ultimate and the passive burst. Good goodness. Corki actually is going to be really difficult for them to unseat, though. They're both so low on health, they could easily go down to his burst, or to his poke, rather. They're going to have to burst him. Tristana's going to have to jump and Aurelia at the same time to kill him before they could kill both of them. But no, it looks like he has won the 2v1 and cleared out the minions. And the survivors, or the resurrected Nocturne and Leona, have returned, so there's no way that they can fight that out. No. That was close, though, man. I wanted to see a 2v1. But yeah, what a play by Zira.
Zera's positioning on that was perfect. I mean, that was the fact that I was mentioning about playing Zera in the very beginning. that was a right time for an ult. I mean, she positioned that perfectly, right? She got the whole wild growth right when she needed it, and look at what happens. She melted 3 people at once. They were all thinking, well, they were all overconfident, thinking, hey, look, no problem. They're all enemy have lower health than us. We can fight this. But Zera turning that completely around, landing on a triple kill, really a quadra. Technically, the last one was a little, it kind of escaped him, right? You could have maybe got a quadra there if you positioned a little bit better. But in all honesty, like that couldn't have been a better play from Zera. Chaos right there, really showing how this champion is supposed to be played. Perfect opportunity. It's kind of like an Annie's Tibbers as well, right? If you think about it,
it's opportunity.
You need to position that perfectly. You need to have the best positioning, so you optimize that ultimate, the knock up from it as well, the huge amount of damage with the nice follow up from the plants. Very important to do that, Zera. So Zera players out there, prospective Zera players out there, after you've seen that triple kill and you want to play Zera, number one thing you need to focus on, positioning and the timing of your abilities.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree that the comparison with Annie as far as being an opportunist, with Annie it's so tempting to target that, semi-squishy or whatever and drop everything, Tibbers and everything. But as you know very well, Pureshield, that if you wait for that better opportunity, you can not just get a kill, you cannot just get a pick, you can turn around a team fight completely.
Yeah.
You wipe a team, you get a dragon, you get a baron, you get an inhibitor, you get a nexus,
Yeah.
So yeah, I completely agree with you. There's very similar in being an opportunist, and she really showed it in that team fight. There's a nice root under the tower. They're going to try to focus on Kale. She takes some tower damage as well before it dies, but they can't finish her off just yet. And that's actually, they're going to pull back after that, it looks like. Looks like they've had enough. Are they signaling for Baron? Does it look like a Baron? I mean, it's definitely time. It could be time.
26 minutes is a good time, but Irelia is probably going to meet them in the jungle. There was no wards dropping there.
That's right. That's right.
Here comes Nocturne.
Oh
my goodness.
Nocturne
wow.
Jumps in. She flashes out at once.
School level flash right there.
That was a nice flash. That was a very nice flash. Definitely juked him with the other direction there. If she had gone a little bit earlier, he probably would have gone over the wall with her.
Oh, yeah.
So that actually worked out pretty well for her. She's still sticking around, though. She basically wants to slow him down. They don't want to give him a free Baron. They got to regroup. How are they on health? It looks like Tristan is healing up. So they got a great opportunity here to really get something done. Magnius is really clumped up. They're in a perfect position for Zera's ultimate.
Well,
she's got to get some seeds down, get the roots and the ult combo together. Because for those of you, Pureshield mentioned earlier, but for those of you who don't know, because she is a new champion after all, her ultimate empowers her plants. So if you cast the ultimate, not only you knock your opponents up in the air, but you also empower your plants to make them stronger. So that's what he was talking about with the opportunity and the positioning and the timing and putting the plants right, and that's where the skill cap comes in. So anyway, yeah, all 5 of them still dancing around Baron. Now, they're trying to win it down with this poke. I mean, the Ziggs and the Corky poke is just, unbelievable. So they're some of the best in the game. So they're really, really good position in terms of being able to drive off solution. But they've got to be careful because we just saw what Zera can do. And Zera can just completely turn around a team fight if they're not careful. That combination, oh my god, is so powerful. I mean, that's exactly what you want out of your AP carry. That's what you want. And Tristan's got the cleanup power, by the way. I mean, sitting at 153 farm, 28 minutes is a little low compared to, say, high-end tournament play or super high elo play. But for the level that these guys are at, this is really, really appropriate.
I wouldn't say that, actually. I think this is actually a really bad game for power overall. The only reason I'm mentioning this is, because normally both of these guys are actually known for the higher farm counts. Look at Count Cthulhu's farm. Is that that's not Count Cthulhu's farm. Sorry, Brojo's farm. Does that even look?
Behind,
he does way more. He's usually at 200 at this point. He hits that number around 17 minutes. So it definitely since it was an action-packed game, there's a lot of action down bot. Chances are they won't be able to get as much farm as possible, and they're also slipping on wards. I think the fact that Magnius probably expected to win after that such a powerful start with the counter jungle, and right now they're again being a younger team and being younger in general in terms of the age group of their team. They generally would, I guess you could say their mentality after a certain amount of time has elapsed in a match or certain things have happened might not be as good as some of the older teams or some of the more
so they're losing focus, losing discipline.
They're losing focus, they're losing some discipline.
They lack discipline.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Discipline, yeah. Look at the vision that we have on the map right now, not very impressive, right? We expect much more vision from these guys. We expect everything to be warded, some nice ward trips going on. We do have an Oracles on field. Is there another one? Yeah, there's only one Oracles for blue team. Solution Gaming did invest in that Oracle. Nevin really favors Oracles over his own item. Look at him. Shirai's Heart of Gold, 3 wards, boots, Oracles. That's it. That's 20 minutes in already. Yeah, 29 minutes in already. So he doesn't really care about himself. He just wants to clear wards. He just wants to get his team to win, and he just wants to, I guess you can say, be a full support. He doesn't really care about himself.
Full support. Yeah, and I guess at this point he's gone past the point in the game where his ultimate can be, truly devastating. I mean, because he's not building for it, obviously. So it's still great. It's still useful for the slow.
Rooting 3 people with 1 root. That's why I really like Wazara root as opposed to Lux root. You have no true limit, right? Within that range,
it's easier to aim too. It's way easier to aim, and it has the secondary bonus of launching that plant, which then slows them further. So her root is really good. It's like a Lux on steroids, pretty much.
The scaling is not bad either. I think it was like 0.5. I think is the scaling, or like a little higher than 0.5. Yeah, that's really good scaling for a root. I personally think, so CC ability having that much scaling, and the base damage is really nice. The base damage is actually 200 base. It's insane. I like that. I really like Zera the champion overall. Swift cleaning up those mobs with the Qs and the auto attack. And it looks like the goal is still about 3k apart, but then again though, right now at this point, judging by how both teams play, one team fight can pretty much decide the fate of the rest of this game.
3k is not that much at this point. No, not at all. Not at all. One team fight can do it, like you said. A perfect 0 ult with the suicide and the passive damage can also do it. We already saw that pretty slick kill, 1 or 2 of those. So yeah, look at all the counter warding. This is definitely a game full of counter warding. I love to see that.
Now they're getting the discipline back. The tempo will slow down. They're having some time to recuperate, and they're now playing their best game before, which is really just ward and counter ward.
There goes Nocturne ult, jumping in, kind of
jumping the gun there a little bit, I think.
a little trigger happy there, Nocturne, with your ult. Not sure what he was doing.
Very trigger happy. Actually,
that could actually be bad for Magnius not having that ult. Actually. They're actually going to go super pursue this a little bit too much. Fortunately, though, the Ziggs ult only hits their tanks. Magnius returns, lots and lots of damage coming down. There comes the disruption from the Nunu ult. Shyvana's going to be the first one to fall for Solution, while Magnius has to give up Leona, who got the focus for some reason, and Ziggs, who was way out of position. After that, it's just going to be a huge massacre as they 3v1 Corki. But look at the Corki damage. Still manages to take out one more before he dies. That was pretty impressive. He managed to take out Tristana before he died. If Corki had been a little more fed, only 142 farm we talked about. He's got the kills and the assists. But if he had the farm, then he probably could have killed all 3 of them, because he was definitely 1 shot away from hitting Zera. And Nunu, Nunu's a little tougher. I also think that could have gone a lot better for Magnius if they had a proper Ziggs ult. Ziggs' ult was basically wasted on the 2 tanks, on Shyvana and Nunu. So I didn't think that was very well aimed. Additionally, they wasted Nocturne's ult. So that was a big coup for Solution. They really needed that. Zera's having trouble with Wraiths. No, she actually got the heal from the blue Wraith and managed to survive, but the little Wraiths go back anyway. All right. Yeah, that was actually pretty funny. I don't know if you saw that, but Zera almost died to the Wraiths. Back down here, everybody's rezzed up, healed up, ready to go. So another fight on Baron. Leona with Oracles is going to go scouting around for wards.
Unfortunately, there's
joke's
no
on
ward.
them.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No wards here.
No wards.
It says there's no wards though, because she's saying no wards. This is the best move humanly possible. Just to quickly engage that Baron, burn as fast as you can.
Solution. They have no idea.
They're not gonna catch this.
It's not just vision. They just don't realize it's happening.
Oh no. This is where discipline falls apart. That's a free Baron.
That's a nice Baron. Huge Baron pickup for Magnius here.
Here comes a little engagement.
Oh, God, and the pick on Zera. This is the worst thing that happened. It's so demoralizing.
Stir-fried vegetables for breakfast, lunch, dinner. Right there.
But check out the kind of damage Zera still put out before she died. I mean, that's ridiculous. Look at their health right now.
They're forced to go back. I mean, that delays their push. They can essentially Solution right now can play a little bit defensive now too, right? They're forced to play defensive, and you know what? I actually like to see some of these players get forced to play defensive once upon a time, especially for team fights, because sometimes it's just been overly aggressive at one point. Like there hasn't been much recoup time for any of these guys to stop for a team fight. I mean, we had like maybe a 3-minute intermission before they started killing each other again, which is might actually happen very soon. Although Magnius should try and push for at least maybe like a full-on bottom push, get those 2 towers down. I'm pretty sure it's very easy for them to do that, and it's a good opportunity as well. Bottom is just a little bit easy just because of the positioning where the golems is. You can kind of stay there for days because you control their red, you control dragon, and you kind of control their bottom income. Just kind of camp over there for a while and then keep pushing. there's enough positions, enough bushes for you to hide in, and there's enough points to ward that you get some good situations, and it's a really good place to force a fight for for Magnius right now. However, they are going to go for the very standard pushing mid. Although I really don't recommend against this again. Like Zera is really difficult. Here comes a jump
Nocturne with a way overdue dive. A Buster Shot comes from Tristan to save it. Nice ult from Leona. Perfect ultimate. Catches, the chain to CC on Zera. Absolutely massive. But Zera gets revenge with a double kill from her passive. And I think it was double kill.
Watch Aurelia.
So much damage.
Aurelia's going to wipe the team. Aurelia's going to wipe the team. Look at that Aurelia.
Raid boss
Better
Aurelia.
Nerf Aurelia.
Nerf Aurelia. Kill from Tristana actually picking off 3 people, and then finally Tristana going down to Ziggs. Ziggs actually managed to pick her off, but then finally died to Aurelia. Wow, that was fast. I'm going to go ahead and jump back. Pureshield real quick, and I'm going to watch that one more time. I'm going to put it in slow-mo because there was so much going on and it happened so quickly that I want to see it again for sure. So the thing, let's skip ahead a little bit here to where Nocturne's coming up. Nocturne guys in, let's slow it down here. Nocturne focuses, lands the fear first of all, and then because of the fear, after he gets Buster Shot after the fear. The Ziggs ult completely misses and is useless, but the Leona ult's perfect. Leona chains her stuns on Zera. Zera dies, and then here comes the passive and Nunu's ult at the same time. That's why I thought it was a double kill. It was actually Nunu's damage combined with Zera that picked up that kill. So Leona dies. Massive focus here. Now let's go ahead and watch Aurelia jumping in the battle like you said. Wait for the ultimate to come down on Nocturne. Kills Corki first. Corki finishes off Nunu, and Aurelia is basically 2v3 in them. I mean, she has a Tristana damage, obviously, but they cannot hurt Aurelia at all. And Kale's now left the battle. Tristana and Ziggs. Ziggs turns around on Tristana. They kill each other. It was actually to kill each other. I thought Aurelia killed Ziggs, but that's just how it happens when they're going really fast. And then Aurelia and Kale is just completely one-sided, and Kale should not have rejoined that battle at all. That was definitely a mistake for her to rejoin that battle.
That was a bad battle. I mean, Aurelia, you don't want to fight her near her.
She's going to GA for God's sake.
And she has a GA, she has a Triforce, and she has a Chain Vest with Ninja Tabi reducing your basic attacks. I mean, Kale, even though you have a Shred, that percentage is not really shreddable. I mean, that was a bad situation right there. I'm an Aurelia player. I've played some Kale back in the day, but I haven't played Kale recently. I could just honestly say that, if someone was diving me near my tower, my hood, and I have a GA, I'm never gonna die.
No,
I'm not gonna die.
No, never. Yeah. No, never. MC never die. Absolutely.
MC never dies. Exactly. MC,
absolutely. It's your new name.
Exactly.
Yeah, Aurelia with a GA is terrifying. She's also massively ahead on farm to everybody else.
Look at that purchase on the item. Guess what she's getting? A Glacial Shroud.
Glacial Shroud.
Really limiting that attack speed from this team, and that's a very good move. Kale, Nocturne, and kind of Corki, they all have their fair share of attack speed reliance.
Yes,
and
that's true.
That completely basically negates that attack speed bonus wherever they have
with the
40% reduction. Yeah, Frozen Heart completely nails it. And keep in mind, the armor's great, and the cooldown addiction is even better.
Yeah, it is. It makes really even tougher. Another easy dragon pickup for Magnius, surprisingly.
They've been giving every dragon pretty much. I think
they have. They've gotten a massive dragon advantage. And that's kept them ahead on gold, despite the farm difference from Aurelia. The Aurelia farm difference is so huge right now. It's absolutely massive. There's also a nice assist count for Solution. But anyway, we have a lot of pursuit here, but that gets turned around. Solution definitely over-pursued that. Magnius turns it around, forces the retreat. Nunu's in a bad position. He's forced to flash. Leona dives in a little too far. He should have waited for Nocturne's ult.
Oh, no,
Nocturne jumps in a little bit late. Nunu
right
goes
there.
down in the battle. Nocturne's gonna get picked off by the damage. Kale sails herself with her ult. She stayed in there a little bit too long, and I really finished her off. There's some stuff happening to my left, but I'm gonna watch Aurelia chase Ziggs because I like watching elephant step on mice. Pretty much, that's what happened. So back on the left, everything is dead, and I only see Sirvana left alive. So Dragon Lady and Raid Boss Aurelia have slaughtered Magnius. That's what I see anyway.
This is the turnaround jumper.
That was a huge maneuver. Yeah, this was a huge turnaround for them. Aurelia getting, we saw a couple huge moves from Zera, and Zera has a really good kill and assist score, obviously. She's top kills and keeping up on assists, 22 participation. She has the best participation of anybody in their team anyway, although she is kind of bad on farm, actually. She's doing pretty bad on farm. But after seeing some of those plays from Zera, we really expected Zera plays to be the ones that turned every game around, but it really has been Aurelia, to be honest. It's definitely been Aurelia that's turned this game around. Shyvana's been a force as well, but not nearly as much. Shyvana's a little bit behind on farm. Well, I mean, it's pretty normal for her being a jungler and all. But in terms of her kills, she's also been going more assist, support Shyvana. So it's definitely falling on Aurelia for the hyper carry. That's just what Aurelia does. I mean, you can't leave her alone to farm like that. I mean, you think, okay, she has low participation, so she's not in a lot of team fights in the beginning. Well,
what she's doing
during that time
she's really making the difference.
She's getting creep score.
Yeah.
And then comes around late game, and you're like, oh, what happened? Where's this Aurelia coming from? Why is she destroying our whole team? I mean, you've got a GA, you got a Frozen Heart, you got Triforce, Ninja Tabby. I mean, come on.
You're not going to really die. I mean, most of the physical damage are not going to hurt him. So Ziggs is a focus target, and maybe even Leona's focus target, then we'll have Aurelia.
But since Ziggs is a burst-based AP champion, not really one of those consistent ones that deals consistent streaming damage, essentially, or with a kind of consistent damage through a stun, you're going to have a Aurelia who's going to fill herself up with hidden style with no problem. If she activates it right now, though, she gets 23 health per attack, and with like a 1.4 attack speed, 1.3 attack speed, no problem. She's gonna fill hers up so fast. You're not even have a chance to kill her. I mean, she has 291 armor, 103 magic resistance. So with those two in consideration, at this point, I will hate to say it, but she can probably 1v3 right now. No problem.
Yeah. She probably could.
No problem at all.
Certainly, she could 1v3 the physical damage dealers on Magnius. That would not be a problem with them. She might have trouble with Ziggs if he's got a lot of distance on her, but I think that I agree with you that that's a bad position. They're awaiting Baron. Baron should be spawning.
Look at that timing on that Baron.
Nice timer on that. Even timed the satchel to it. That's how close that timing was.
Satchel and mines. Look at how fast that goes.
And there's an instant dragon from Magnius. Magnius not ready to give up this game after that last play. This could be it right here, guys. Everybody's recalling back to the base. The tower is going to go down for the bottom inhib. It's taking him forever to destroy this building. It's a bad omen. We have a Baron team, and we have a slightly weakened solution coming down. There's a big burst coming down. Leona's ultimate slows everyone.
That positioning on Zera's ultimate. Oh my
there
God.
Goes. Oh, Nunu's ult was a little bit wasted there. Tristana's going hog wild, though. Massive damage coming from Tristana. She has the damage coming from Zeke's, actually. Just that little turd just shooting around, shooting everybody. So that was actually a nice move. Unfortunately, though, Aurelia has been forced to pop her GA, and she's going to retreat with no health. Tristana had to go back as well. Tristana, or Nunu.
Oh, look at that. Look at what Triss is doing.
Nocturne, why did you just overextend?
Look at Triss.
There she goes. What is Tristana doing up here? Tristana, meanwhile, up top, has managed to die, but take down Corki with her. It's now Kale trying desperately to defend the Nexus against Aurelia and Nunu. Can Aurelia and Nunu kill Kale? It's a 2-on-1. Kale has Baron. Aurelia and Nunu are nearly dead. GA has popped. Kale focuses
my goodness, look at that
Aurelia
damage.
There's the burst, the stun from
insane.
No, it's absolute domination.
That's
Can Aurelia
insane.
and Nunu destroy Kale in the 2v1. She should have let the inhib go and fight under the tower. But coulda, shoulda, woulda, because that's going to do it for Magnius. They got about 8 seconds left on the revives from Ziggs and Leona. They're not going to be able to stop these two. Well, I don't know. They might be able to stop them. They're forced to. They're actually retreating.
Yeah, forcing to retreat. Good choice. Good choice.
Oh, man. Yeah, you don't want to throw at this point. Although they do have Shyvana coming up right now. It'd be impossible for them to throw at this point, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Let's go review that fight for a second. We had a really perfectly placed Zera ultimate. But I want to draw your attention to how that really ended right there. So Tristana was kind of trying to do a little razzle dazzle, go through the back door and kind of take down the Nexus tower while her teammates engaged. But that was caught on really quick by Magnius. They just pulled back immediately. But she used enough force. She knows she was not going away. She took down Corki with her, leaving Kale alone to defend. Now you want to know how both of them being under like a 30% health actually won against Kale.
Because of the Aurelia ult, or a stun, I mean, not ult, but the Aurelia stun.
The stun's part of it, but the major part is Nunu's attack speed steroid.
Oh yeah, Blood Boil, yeah.
65% attack speed. Aurelia had a 1.8 against Kale. So essentially, with hidden style and true damage, no matter how tanky your bruiser is, let's do 1.8 for a second. Within the 6 seconds of hidden style's activation, at 75. She gets on average 2 per attack. I mean, that's insane if you think about it. That's 1,000 true damage already from a W ability.
It looks like they actually have Solution pushing back in. They're going to go around top. Their full team is pushing through the jungle. They want to take this top tower. They can, if they focus it, they can get it before Magnius can respond. But they're not really focusing it. Now they're on the towers. Magnius responds. Tower goes down. There's the initiate. Massive. Oh, Ziggs lands the ult on everyone, as so does Zira and Leona. It's just a massive ult CC battle.
That was
massive damage focuses. Irelia just doing absolutely monstrous damage to everyone. Nocturne dies to, I believe that was an Ignite death, and that's a total ace. And it happens so quickly. We have to see down where most of the sources of the damage were. I'm just going to watch them destroy these inhibs first, and then we're going to jump back. Tristana and Irelia focusing the bottom while Shyvana takes... There was a surrender. Before we end this, though, I do want to go back. So that was a hell of an ending, by the way.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That was a hell of an ending. I want to go back and watch this engage again, because everybody landed their ults perfectly at the start.
Let's watch that in slow-mo.
Yeah, I'm going to watch this in slow-mo. Turret goes down. There's the Leona. Hits everybody. Nocturne jumps in. Ziggs right in the middle of them. Hits everybody. It's just not enough damage. The Zero ult hits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people knocked up by the Zero ult. Good God.
Ultimate.
Good God. That was it. I mean, there was nothing else after that.
Fresh
Tristana focused
veggie,
down.
juicy.
Actually, Tristana killed Corki. Tristana killed Corki. Okay, my mistake.
Fresh
I actually thought Irelia killed Corki. I must have missed that.
Juicy.
And then they finish off Kale after her ultimate. The only reason Kale lasted that long is because of her ultimate.
Oh, yeah. That was fresh and juicy.
Wow.
Did you see? Like, that was really smooth from Zara. I mean, again, MVP goes to Irelia and Zara.
3, 4, 5. Bam.
Yeah, no
5
pushing.
knockups in such a huge area is really tremendous. Also, Tristana buster shotted Leona all the way back to the bottom, to the other side of the map. That was pretty funny. Oh my God. Yeah.
That was great.
Nocturne also died in melee range to Irelia. Irelia is just totally unstoppable. I mean, Irelia was never threatened at any point in this battle. She took no damage from anyone. I mean, true hyper carry status. Combine that with total control.
She has 4 deaths.
Yeah. 4 deaths.
That speaks
and
for
she
herself.
got those early game, by the way.
Yeah.
She hasn't died in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got the best armor item, one of the best anyway, along with Thornmail, the best MR item, and a GA and Triforce. I mean, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. Hyper carry. So you want to play some games? You play Irelia?
Yeah, I'm going to play Irelia right now. Jeez.
Oh man. So let's go back up and well, it was a surrender, so we don't need to watch anymore. All right. Well. Oh man, Pureshield, thank you for casting this for me. Check out how even it is. 34 to 33, only up about 1.5k gold. It all came down to the execution in that team fight.
This is the kind of games you expect to play if if people both of these teams are a part of our league. They're regulars in our tournament, and they're both leader holders are part of our league right now. And if you really want to register for our TGN Community League, the link is very simple. We're going to put a link down here for registration in our introduction video made by actually Hangus, Mr. Pretty Man himself. You're going to have to check it out because these guys are going to, if you want to play against these guys again, I know some of the sages is going, oh, well, they're not that good. Oh, I could have done this, made this mistake. If you want to kind of like dethrone them, or if you want to prove that you're better, then you got to play them. You got to play these guys.
Put up or shut up.
Okay.
No, I said put up or shut up.
Oh, put up or shut up. Exactly. Yeah.
Pureshield is confused. He thought I was telling him to shut up.
Yeah, usually people tell me shut up. Already.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, everyone tells me.
You have kind of a Pavlovian reaction to that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, there you go. If you want to challenge Solution and Magnius and show them how much they suck and how much better than you are, sign up.
Put up
sign up.
Or shut up.
Put up or shut up.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that the game came down to the execution of the team fight with the Zero ultimate timed absolutely perfectly. Another thing I think that came down to, if you agree with me here, is that Brojo did not do up to his standards.
No, he didn't.
He doesn't have a Last Whisper, which is bad news because Irelia, he needs a Last Whisper for Irelia. Brojo does not have any farm. I mean, his farm is really bad right now. Tristana's farm, we talked about it earlier. She was behind, but not horrible. She's obviously, when we do these tournaments, we watch teams like Electric and Yellow Buff and Reboot, and we see the kind of farm they do because they do pro level farm, So we can become jaded. We can see someone with 128 minutes, 153 farm, and say they suck or whatever. But at the elo that these guys play at, which is way above average, organized team, it's not that bad, okay. But now that it's at 44 minutes and it's still only at 217, it basically means a lack of discipline late game because he's just not keeping up with the farm. Late game, Tristana should have such ridiculous farm because of the way her explosive shot works. I mean, all you have to do is have the discipline to show up in the lane and you get 1,000 minions. It's kind of like Karthus, just instant wave clear. there's no reason for Shyvana to be behind on farm at this point. There's no reason for Corki to be behind at this farm at this point. And that's one of the reasons why it came down to Zira, who is also underfed but has the ultimate, doesn't matter how underfed you are if you land the ultimate right. And it came down to Irelia with 285 CS. Irelia is, really showed that the kind of discipline you need to keep up your CS, just to get ahead in the beginning and stay ahead the whole game. She was obviously drastically ahead of everybody else. I think the game just came down to the carries not getting it done.
Yep.
I don't know if you agree with me there.
Oh, I definitely agree with you right there. I think that the discipline really shows from how Irelia played that game. I mean, consistent farm, really good team fight, unrelenting. I mean, come on, like, really good calculation too. Like, that's one player that did not get driven down by those early first bloods. They were down 0-6 at one point, and most people at that point, they just call GG.
Yeah, there's AFK 20 GG. Yeah, I agree. They kept the discipline up. There's also one other thing I want to bring up as a support player. I think Leona's build is just awful. I think her build does not play on the strengths of Leona whatsoever. She's running a very generic support build. She has mobility boots for roaming, which is something I get on Alistar for roaming, but she's not effective for roaming because she has no turret diving because she has no defense. So why would you have a roaming build if you can't dive turrets? That's what roaming's for.
Exactly.
Obviously, Alistar has his ult to assist with that, but I still build Glacial Shroud as one of my core items. You get it. Sometimes I get it before I get my roaming shoes, depending on how the game's going. And she has nothing like that. I mean, the Solari Locket is a support item. It's not a tank item. It's got some tank stats, but it's really inferior. She needs a Glacial Shroud. And I usually go Warmogs on Alistar, and I would build Leona pretty similar. I'd have to think about it, but I think I would build Leona pretty similarly. I just think that she really blew it with that build, and that's one of the reasons why Leona she can't assist, she can't initiate. How many times did we see, especially mid game onwards, Leona initiate and just die?
Oh yeah, just get melted. I mean, as Nunu, you can kind of afford it. Again, you're there for the attack speed steroid, right? But as Leona, since you're a frontliner, you can't afford to have get instantly melted. You can't. You have to be. Leona's all about staying in the battle and just persisting and being really obnoxious and disruptive. She's so good at that, but she can't do it if she's dead. Unlike Zira, or say Kog'Maw or somebody or Karthus, she doesn't have that advantage. She has to stay alive to be able to do her job, and that really, really hurt them. I mean, it's happened over and over and over again. Leona dies and dies. Leona dies and dies. Just dies straight up. So. That's bad. I agree with you. Nunu is a little bit more malleable in that front, but he was still more defensive than she was. Picking up a Shurelya's for health and two health items actually, and then of course a Zeke's for the team. Also, Nunu is not in a position where he has to dive in anyway. He doesn't have to. They have Irelia for that. They have Shyvana for that. So Nunu is in a position where he can be a little less aggressive than Leona. Like you said, not a frontliner, right? Yep.
He can sit back and snowball, and he can still. Snowball and Blood Boil, and he can
Blood
still
Boil,
be.
That's number one. Blood Boil is so crucial for that team. Irelia with Blood Boil, scary thing ever. Movement speed. I mean, come on, 15% movement, 65% attack speed. You run away from that. You can't. You want to fight it, you can't. So just sit there, cry, fetal position, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and Kale just learned about that the hard way.
Yeah, exactly. So,
okay, well, fantastic game from both of these teams. Big round of applause for how well they played. Again, like, so much fun just casting that. Probably twice as fun playing that, for sure.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, anything else for me, Pureshield?
I think I'm good.
All right. See you next game. What's funny is, at this point in the game, we were trying at least a little bit in more mage mode. It's just that we're so good at this game now that...
Yeah, literally the 10 hours straight we played the first day of the game was released. Apparently,
yeah, we learned something from that.
Set us above the curve here.
Oh, there she goes. There you go, Nidalee. That's what I'm talking about. Get that 7 gold or whatever he's worth at this point. 0-5-1, man. Whew, 0-5-1. Okay, now this is the really interesting thing, character traits. Now, you can build strengths and weaknesses, okay? You get each strength is worth a certain number of points, and you can choose up to 3 strengths. And whatever you choose, you have to balance it out by choosing weaknesses. So I can choose all the most expensive strengths, but now I have to put 10 points into weaknesses, so I have to put a lot of weaknesses. I am splitting my damage here, which isn't great. Oh, wow, I'm losing a lot of health. Okay. Ooh, holy shit. Run away. You can't catch me.